Chow Liam, Episode 6 of 6. A portfolio, not a pile. The artifact, 2 instrument reports, the confession, and a closing note that keeps you honest. Assembled so an employer could open it, read it in sequence, and know exactly what you built, what you found, what you changed, and what you still don't know. That last part, what you still don't know, is what makes it a portfolio instead of a demonstration. Let's close the loop. 6 deliverables, the artifact, the code, dataset, dashboard, tool, or prompt system you built, with a repro note that a reader who has your data can actually rerun. Not run main.py, a repro note that specifies the environment, the data source and access method, the parameters, and the expected output on a known input. The build note, what it does, what data it uses, and the pre-registered suspect from episode 1. 2 instrument reports, each one with a dated prediction lock, the method, the result including the unwelcome finding, and a labeled classical move, label which of Descartes, Hume, Plato, or Popper drove the probe design or the shifted replot. The confession, all 4 parts, part 2 honest. The closing note, 1 to 3 sentences on what would change your mind about your central finding, and 1 to 3 sentences on what still puzzles you. Not a conclusion. A forward-facing honest close, and a 3-layer reproducibility pass across the whole portfolio, every claim pitched at its licensed verb, the core result rerunnable from the repro note alone. The honesty floor sweep is 5 binary checks, each one a gate. Every diagram computed from real predictions, not illustrative, not approximate, not constructed to match a story you wanted to tell. The misleading chart in episode 4 built from encoding choices only, never from changed numbers. Prediction locks written before running. If you are adding dates to prediction locks now, that is a flag, and the grader is likely to ask about it. Every claim at its licensed verb, the verb audit from episode 4 applied across the whole portfolio, not just the results section. And 1 final check that requires a person, the repro note test. Hand your repro note to a classmate, someone who has not seen your build, and have them rerun the core result from it alone. The step they get stuck on is the step you left out. That is the only pre-submit check you cannot perform yourself. Do not skip it by asking them to just look at it. They need to actually try to run it. The stretch, a 3rd instrument report. It earns no additional rubric points, but it materially strengthens the portfolio for an employer and for the honesty quartile. If you ran a 3rd instrument and reported it honestly, include it. The portfolio is not the minimum, it is what you built. 5 final pre-submit checks. 1. Every figure computed, none invented. This includes calibration plots, fairness metric tables, robustness profile tables, and the honest and misleading visualizations. If you generated a diagram without running the code, it is not a computed figure. 2. Every claim at its licensed verb. Read the results section aloud and flag every verb. Shows on a finding supported by 1 self-selected test window is an overreach. 3. The repro note tested by someone else tonight if you have not done it yet. 4. The confession has all 4 parts, the mistake named specifically, the fluency defended named honestly, the instrument that caught it specified, the fix and residual risk both present. 5. The residual risk named in each instrument report, not there may be limitations, but the specific thing you could not close and why it remains open. When all 5 checks pass, submit. Not before. The 5 checks are not bureaucratic, they are the same questions a skilled reviewer would ask in the first 5 minutes. Answering them yourself before submission is the difference between a portfolio that holds up and one that doesn't. Verdict for assemble the Skeptic's portfolio and ship. 6 deliverables, artifact with repro note, build note with pre-registered suspect, 2 instrument reports each with a dated prediction lock and a labeled classical move, the confession with all 4 parts and a closing note on what would change your mind. Honesty floor sweep, every figure computed, misleading chart from encoding only, prediction locks dated before running, verbs licensed portfolio wide. The repro note test is the 1 check that requires another person. The step they get stuck on is the step you left out. Stretch, a 3rd instrument report earns no extra rubric points but strengthens the portfolio. 5 final checks, all 5 pass before submitting. Your turn. Here is the pre-submit audit prompt. The prompt reads, I am assembling my Skeptic's portfolio. Here are my 2 instrument reports. Paste both instrument reports in full. Here's my confession, paste the full 4-part confession. Here's my repro note, paste the repro note. Run a pre-submit audit with 4 checks. Check 1. Does each instrument report have a dated prediction lock, a method, a result that names an unwelcome finding? And a labeled classical move, Descartes, Hume, Plato, or Popper. Name any field that is missing or too vague to be meaningful. Check 2. Does the confession have all 4 parts, the specific mistake, the sentence beginning I wanted to believe with a named investment at risk, how the instrument caught it, and what I changed plus the residual risk. Name any missing or underwritten part. Check 3. Does the repro note have enough detail for a reader to rerun the core result without asking me anything? Name the first step that is unclear, missing a version number, or assumes access that a reader might not have. Check 4. Is any claim in the results sections using a verb stronger than the evidence licenses? Name it and the licensed verb. After Claude responds, fix every named gap before submitting. The repro note is the one gap you cannot fix by reading it yourself. Run the classmate test tonight. Assemble the Skeptic's portfolio plus ship. Lay 'em in for bear.